This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining today's webinar on Oracle Golden Gate Microservices Architecture. My name is Ashish and I'll be delivering this session to you. So before commencing the session, just quick round of update regarding my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Ashish Agarwal_GG. So if you haven't visited this channel, I would highly recommend you to go and visit the channel and do like and subscribe the channel if you want to receive further updates. So the recording of this session will also be available on this YouTube channel. So if you haven't liked and subscribed the channel, I would highly recommend you and do share with your colleagues. Thank you. So I'll give you around 10 seconds if you haven't liked and subscribed the channel, so you can visit it and quickly go through that. So I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, so now let us start our session. So welcome to our Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture. So before I commence, just a quick introduction about me. So some of you may have joined my webinars previously, and some of you might be joining for the first time. So for those who don't know me, so I'm expert in Oracle Golden Gate and Oracle database. I have around 12 plus years of experience in Golden Gate training. So I have been conducting trainings on Golden Gate, providing mentorship and providing support on Oracle Golden Gate for last 12 years. So I have various high rated courses like Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture, Oracle Golden Gate Microservices Architecture, and Oracle Golden Gate Veridata. So I have trained more than 3,600 plus trainees so far and taken 140 plus corporate batches. The feedback which has been received has been very good. I have been conducting a lot of sessions, webinars on Golden Gate, providing, helping the community to be stronger in Golden Gate, because Golden Gate is niche technology and people are coming with limited knowledge. So my main motive is to enhance or create a bigger community. That's it. So I'm an Oracle certified professional and Oracle Golden Gate certified and blogger and speaker. And my email ID is ashishagarwaleg@gmail.com, or you can anytime reach out to me over Twitter at ashishagarwaleg, or you can also leave your comment on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ashishagarwal_gg. So today's session agenda, we are going to discuss about Oracle overview and introduction to Oracle Golden Gate microservices. Then we'll be discussing about Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture. Then we'll be discussing about microservices architecture as well. What are the components involved in microservices architecture, and what is the architecture of MSA we'll be discussing. Then what is service manager, administration server, distribution server, receiver server, performance matrix server, how MSA looks like. So many of you or some of you may have worked on Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture, but when I received the registrations, so I saw that only 2 to 5% of people know have worked on microservices or seen that environment. So I thought of I'll give you the look and feel of MSA as well. And we'll also be discussing about comparing MSA and Oracle Golden Gate Classic architecture. So overall, this session will give you very good knowledge on Oracle Golden Gate new architecture, microservices architecture, what are the different types of architecture, and which one is common, and what are the advantages of learning it. We'll be discussing all those. So now let's focus. I want you to keep your phone down and post your question using the below form, which I have already posted in the chat. I'll again post. Okay. So you can post your questions over there, and I'll try to take most of all the questions. And if some of the questions remains unanswered, don't worry, guys. I'm always reachable on email, and I will reply over email after the session. But post your questions. Okay. Let us make this session very good. Okay. So keep your phone down and let's focus now. So Oracle Golden Gate, what and why? So many of you who have joined today may already be knowing about Golden Gate. So I'll give you a quick overview. So Oracle Golden Gate provides near real-time data replication. So the advantage of using Golden Gate is you can replicate the data from one side to another side in real time. So Oracle Golden Gate allows you to replicate the data in real time. Then you have source database and target database. So what Golden Gate does is it extracts the data from one side and replicate it to another side. So in Golden Gate, the advantage is your replication can be unidirectional, bidirectional, or multidimensional. That means that you can use Golden Gate in one-to-one replication. That is, you have only source and target. So from application is connecting to source side, one side, and you are replicating data to other side. Then another advantage is it also allows you to operate Golden Gate in bidirectional mode. So bidirectional, we mean that both the sides will be active. Golden Gate will be application can connect to either of the side, and the transactions happening on one side will be replicated to other side. So this is the major advantage of Golden Gate, which allows you to perform bidirectional replication. Then another thing is Golden Gate allows you to perform multi-dimensional replication as well. What do we mean by multi-dimensional is you can have multiple sources and targets involved, and Golden Gate can replicate the data. So with Golden Gate, replication can involve several sources and targets simultaneously and be used for distributing data for backup, hot standby, auditing, reporting, warehousing, and load distribution. So with Golden Gate, it's like you can have one source and multiple targets. That is, you can broadcast the data. You can have multiple sources and transferring data to single target. So that could be the case of data warehousing. You can use your target for backup, hot standby, for auditing purpose, reporting purpose, load distribution. So there are multiple options involved here. So another thing with Golden Gate is data can be replicated as it is, or you can perform data filtration and transformation as well. And another thing is Golden Gate can replicate your DMLs as well as DMLs. So the DMLs as well as DDLs. So with Golden Gate, the major advantage is you can, so many people compare Golden Gate with Data Guard. So the major advantage with Golden Gate is you can perform data filtration and transformation as well in Golden Gate. Golden Gate allows you to perform data filtration and transformation in their environment. So now, who should learn Golden Gate? Golden Gate right now is one of the hottest technology and still niche technology. Now it is being widely used. So DBAs, apps, DBAs, PLSQL developers, technologists responsible for data replication, high availability data technologists, cloud migration specialists. So the thing is, right, currently Golden Gate is being widely utilized in cloud migration. Currently cloud migrations are getting very popular. So what Golden Gate does is it allows you to perform zero downtime data upgradation and migration. So what do we mean by data zero downtime data upgradation and migration is Golden, you can replicate the data, or you can upgrade your database without any downtime. Consider a telecom company or a financial institution. Suppose they have to upgrade their database from 12C to 19C and from on-prem to cloud. So when they have to do that, they need them. If Golden Gate is not involved, in that case, consider if they need a downtime. So consider a downtime of 10 hours. If they have to take the downtime of 10 hours, can you imagine how much revenue loss and customer dissatisfaction they will face, right? So what Golden Gate does is it allows them to perform seamless and zero downtime data migration to cloud, or zero downtime data upgradation and migration it allows. So that is the major advantage of using Golden Gate. So because currently a lot of cloud migrations are going on, so this Golden Gate is being widely used. So another thing is Golden Gate is a licensed product. So some organizations don't buy complete licenses as well. Like they just buy licenses for migration purpose for 2 months, 6 months, and for limited CPUs. So what it helps them is it helps them to perform cloud migration without any downtime. That helps them to reduce the cost, and that helps them to save a lot of customers and lot of time as well. So this is getting really very popular right now. So why learn Golden Gate? Golden Gate is used by all. Right now it is being used in all domains. So if you want higher paid jobs, and with cloud implementations, customer want real-time replication with zero downtime from on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem. DBS developers and architects can set apart by upskill, stay ahead in career and better paid in Oracle Golden Gate. So now the purpose of today's webinar is Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture. So before I proceed, just type in the chat section. I want to know how many of you are aware about microservices architecture prior to this session. So how many of you are aware about what is microservices architecture, or have you ever seen any environment of microservices? So far I have received almost 15 and no idea about microservices. One response I received from Pawan that I am aware. Okay, so you are at the right place. So yeah, few responses I have received for yes as well, but most of them are no. So guys, don't worry, today I'll answer it. So first of all, now, because you are new to microservices, you need to understand what is classic architecture as well. So that means that you are working on Golden Gate, you might not know what type of architecture you are using. Am I correct? So there are two types of architecture which are there in Oracle Golden Gate. One is Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture, and another one is Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture. So I'll take you to the history of Oracle Golden Gate. That will help you in understanding better. That's the only purpose. So what happened in 1995? Two guys, I am not recalling their names. So they founded Oracle Golden Gate. Now this Oracle Golden Gate is named after famous San Francisco bridge called as Golden Gate Bridge. Until 2009, Golden Gate was a standalone product. Sorry if I said in 1995 they founded the company called as Oracle Golden Gate. If I said that in 1995 they founded the company called as Golden Gate. Until 2009 there was only one. There was a company called as Golden Gate. In 2009, Oracle overtook Golden Gate, and since then it is known as Oracle Golden Gate. So since 2009, once Oracle overtook it, since then it is known as Oracle Golden Gate. So initially it was developed for tandem systems. Now Oracle Golden Gate capability has been increased to lot many databases and lot many environments. So now from 2009 to 2017, there was only one way to configure Golden Gate, and that was through command prompt. In 2017, Oracle introduced the new architecture of Golden Gate, that is known as microservices architecture. So until 2017, there was only one way to configure Golden Gate, and that we called as Oracle Golden Gate architecture. At that moment, there was no classification. In 2017, when Oracle launched its new architecture, which we are going to talk about today, which is Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture, they renamed the existing architecture of Golden Gate to classic architecture. They renamed the existing architecture of Golden Gate to classic architecture, and the new architecture is known as microservices architecture. So what is Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture? It must be the one which you might have worked upon. So you must have worked upon, if you have worked on Golden Gate, or if you have seen the environment of Golden Gate, you must be knowing about GGSCI, command prompt based architecture. So that is now known as classic architecture. So if I show it to you, what is classic architecture? Let me log into my VM. So this is my VM. So so this is the classic architecture. So if I exit from here, and GGSCI. So this GGSCI one, the command prompt one, is classic architecture. It is a Command prompt based one is a classic architecture. You see this? These processes are running from command prompt. So if you have worked on Golden Gate, or if you have seen that environment, most probably you worked on this GGSCI command prompt based one, and this is now known as classic architecture. So, and from 2009 to 2017, there was only one way to configure Golden Gate, and that was through command prompt. And this we called as Oracle Golden Gate architecture. In 2017, Oracle renamed this way to configure Golden Gate as Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture. Okay, in 2017, as I mentioned, Oracle introduced a new architecture of Golden Gate, and it is now known as Oracle Golden Gate Microservices Architecture. So this is Oracle Golden Gate Microservices Architecture, which allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot Golden Gate through GUI. So in classic architecture, you can manage only through command prompt. There is no GUI. Microservices allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot Golden Gate through GUI. So now you have GUI based version of Golden Gate as well. Now you must be thinking, why GUI based? So one of the major advantage of using GUI is it allows for, like, no, in classic architecture, what used to happen was, even if you're novice, means if you're novice, it becomes difficult to work on Golden Gate. With microservices architecture, Oracle was receiving a lot of requests for making it easier to configure, easier to set up. So that's why what they did is they launched microservices, and microservices is the term which you must have heard with other technologies. A lot of technologies are moving to Golden Gate right now. Sorry, microservices right now. So you must have heard about that term, microservices. So things runs as a service in Oracle Golden Gate microservices. So Oracle Golden Gate microservices is available from Oracle Golden Gate 12.3 version onwards. It allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot Golden Gate through GUI. It allows integration with cloud as well. So what it makes easier is your cloud deployments. Golden Gate on cloud, it becomes easier with microservices. And currently, Oracle Golden Gate microservices is only available for Oracle databases. So the thing is, two types of architecture: classic architecture, microservices architecture. Classic architecture is available in 10G, Golden Gate 10G, 11G, 12C, 18C, 19C. Microservices is available from 12.3 Golden Gate onwards. Okay, now there is another product of Golden Gate which you might have heard, which is Veridata. So Veridata is also another product in Golden Gate, but that is separate. That is not an architecture. Just for your information, I'm telling you, it is used to find the data discrepancies between two objects, and it can repair that as well. So Veridata, as the name suggests, it verifies the data. So Golden Gate, what it does, you have source and target. You replicate the data from source to target. So what Golden Gate does is it allows you to ensure whatever data discrepancies have arrived, it ensures that those discrepancies are identified and repaired. So Golden Gate Studio is different, guys. Don't get confused with Golden Gate Studio and microservices. Microservices is a new architecture, and it is completely different to Studio. Okay. So now let us discuss about Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture. So this is Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture. So one thing before I proceed, many people also get confused with another thing. Here we are talking about different types of architecture, which is classic and microservices. Then under Golden Gate, you have different types of extracts and replicates. So before I proceed, does anyone have the question, with the introduction of microservices, have they Oracle discontinued integrated one? I see one question. So does anyone else have that question? My question is, with the introduction of microservices, does Oracle has discontinued integrated one? So
No, Ashish.
I believe many of you are clear. Yes, I am receiving most of the no's, but yes, I have received some of the yeses as well, almost 10. So I'll answer that for you is this is the types of architecture what we are discussing about. What you are talking about is different types of extracts and replicates. So different types of extracts and replicates are integrated and classic apart from others which are available. So integrated and classic are available under classic architecture. Integrate, you can configure integrated extract, integrated replicate. Classic extract, classic replicate under classic architecture. Similarly, under microservices, you can create integrated extract or integrated replicate or classic extract or classic replicate. Okay, so I hope that answers. Thank you. So I'll move forward. So now let us move to what is classic architecture. So those are the types of extracts and replicates. I hope that answers. So now we are talking about, again, we are moving to the architecture side. So Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture right now I'm talking about. So in Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture, how it works is you have source database and a target database. Source database, as we discussed in the in classic architecture, you have uh, you can have Oracle database or non-Oracle database, non-Oracle supported database. So when you do any transaction on source database, what happens is it goes into the transaction logs of that database. Now what you do, you configure Golden Gate extract or capture process, which reads the data out of your transaction logs, write it to local trail. As soon as data becomes available into local trail, data pump process of Golden Gate reads the data out of your local trail, sends it over TCP/IP network, and writes it to remote trail on target. Once the data becomes available into remote trail, Golden Gate delivery process read the data out of your remote trail and apply it to target database. So there are three processes involved over here: capture, pump, and delivery. Capture process captures the data, write to local trail. Pump process reads the data from local trail, writes it to remote trail, and delivery process reads the data from remote trail and apply it to target database. So each process here has a source to read from and a target to write to. Capture process source is source database logs, target is local trail. Pump process source is local trail, target is remote trail. Delivery process source is remote trail and target is target database. Once you understand this flow, trust me, the troubleshooting becomes very easier. This architecture of Golden Gate, irrespective when we talk about, it may seem easier to you. It may seem very simple to you. But when you implement, when you troubleshoot, this architecture comes to your foot always. So always try to keep in mind about this architecture. And once you go through this architecture, try to go through this architecture again and again if you haven't worked on Golden Gate much. And trust me, you will be able to implement Golden Gate, set up Golden Gate, you will be able to troubleshoot any issue in Golden Gate. Okay, so this is Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture. So Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture components include manager process, extract process, replicate process, Golden Gate trail files, Golden Gate pump process, and server collector process. So manager process is the managing process of Golden Gate, which manages all its resources. Then you have extract process, replicate process, Golden Gate trail file. So extract process captures the data from source database. Replicate process applies the data to target database. Golden Gate trail files apply. Means there are two types of trail files: local trail and remote trail. And then there is pump process, which pumps the data from source to target, and then server collector process, which is a background process which runs on the target. So these are the components involved in classic architecture. Now let us discuss about Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture. So Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture is a new REST API based architecture which enable us to configure, monitor, and manage Oracle Golden Gate services using web-based user interface. So Oracle Golden Gate class microservices architecture is a REST API based architecture, which allows you to configure, monitor, and manage Oracle Golden Gate services using web-based user interface. So what happens, whatever command you introduce, a REST API call is sent to the server, and then the output is received. So in microservices architecture, REST API calls are made. So Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture is introduced from Golden Gate version 12c R3. If you have Golden Gate version prior to 12c R3, then it will be Oracle Golden Gate classic architecture only. Okay. Now, in August 2017, Oracle released two architecture for Oracle Golden Gate. One is the existing architecture was renamed to Classic Architecture, and then new microservices architecture. If you want to use the new microservices architecture, you have to do fresh install and migrate to the architecture. So if you have to migrate from Classic to microservices, the approach is not that simple. You have to do a fresh install and then migrate to the new architecture. So this is the microservices architecture, how it looks like. So there are different components involved with microservices architecture. So in microservices architecture, you have administration server. So administration server, so first of all, above all, you have service manager. You have service manager. Under service manager, you have different services running. So as I mentioned, what happens in microservices, in classic architecture, processes run. However, under microservices architecture, things runs under services. Things runs as a service in microservices architecture. So you have service manager. Basically, service manager is watchdog for all other services in Golden Gate environment. So under service manager, you have different services running like administration server, performance metric server, distribution server, and receiver server. Under administration server, you configure Golden Gate extract process on source and replicate process on target. Under admin server, you do that. Under distribution server, so data pump process on source has been replaced with data pump process in classic has been replaced with distribution server in microservices. So in microservices architecture, you don't have data pump. Now it is called as distribution server, which reads the data out of your trail file and sends it over TCP/IP network and writes it to remote trail. Then you have receiver server. Receiver server has replaced the collector process of classic architecture. So what collector process did in classic architecture, receiver server has replaced the collector process in microservices architecture. So as the name suggests, distribution server distributes the data over TCP/IP network, so it runs on source, and receiver server receives the data, hence it runs on target. So whatever data is being sent over the TCP/IP network by distribution server, receiver server receives it on target and apply it to remote trail file. So under microservices architecture, you have service manager, which is watchdog for all other services like admin server, performance metric server, distribution server, and receiver server. Under admin server, you configure Golden Gate extract process or replicate process. Performance metric server is the one. Now I'll discuss about performance metric server in next few seconds. Apart from admin server, you have distribution server, which allows you to send the data over TCP/IP network, and receiver server receives the data. Apart from these three services, admin server, distribution server, and receiver server, you have one more service running in microservices architecture, which is performance metric server. Now, before I proceed, how many of you are aware about this performance metric server? Has anyone worked on performance metric server? Are you guys aware about performance metric server? And do you know, is it available in classic or is it introduced only in microservices? Okay, so most of the people answer is no, almost everyone, I guess. So performance metric server is a new addition to Oracle Golden Gate capability. So what performance metrics server does is it measures the performance of Oracle Golden Gate. So what it does is it basically, before I proceed, first of all about performance metrics server is performance metrics server has been introduced in Golden Gate from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards. Now one of the major feeling or major understanding which most of the people have is this performance metric server is only available in microservices architecture, which is wrong. This performance metric server is available in classic architecture as well as microservices architecture, and it is available from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards. So what performance metric server does is it gives you real-time metrics of Golden Gate performance. It gives you real-time metrics of how Golden Gate is affecting the performance of database, how Golden Gate is how much load Golden Gate is putting on Golden Gate, how much load, how much CPU it is consuming. So basically, but in prior to 12.3, what I used to do was, it is really very beneficial. Prior to 12.3, what I used to do was to provide the customer with the details, how much impact it has, how much, what impact Golden Gate is making to the database, or how much load being put on the database due to Golden Gate. I used to monitor it manually, and then I had to analyze a lot of reports, and then I need to put a graph and present it to the customer. But now with performance metrics server introduction, the graph is automatically prepared in performance metrics server, and I can take that, I can analyze it, and based on analysis, I can provide my recommendation to the customer. So this is really very helpful. If you guys haven't tried this performance metrics server, I highly recommend you to try it. Read about it and learn more about it. You will learn very good thing about it. But performance metrics server is a new introduction from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards. And another thing is it is also available in Golden Gate classic architecture as well. Okay, so these are the 4 services which runs in Oracle Golden Gate microservices. I again repeat, service manager. Under service manager, you have 4 services running: admin server, metric server, distribution server, and receiver server. Okay, so I'll take few questions. I hope you guys have filled the form. No, okay. So I see first question which is being asked by Taukir. He's asking, microservices GUI is handled by GG Studio? No. So as I already mentioned, GG Studio is completely different. Microservices is an architecture of Golden Gate, and apart, so the thing is, I'll tell you one thing, Taukir. So that is good question, and it should be helpful for others as well. The thing is, microservices is launched not for only this thing for GUI purpose. The purpose of microservices is to run to make Golden Gate to make Golden Gate future efficient as well. See, Golden Gate is a technology. Now for Golden Gate to remain active in the market, no, I'm not talking about only Golden Gate perspective, any technology I'm talking about. It needs to work according to current environment. It needs to work what are the current demands in the market are, right? If it doesn't improve itself, the technology will extend, new technology will take over it, right? So microservices has been launched to make it present and future efficient. The purpose of microservices is services runs, things runs as a service for better cloud integration. That's why this microservices has been launched. And the GUI part is one of the feature of microservices. So microservices has not launched only for GUI purpose. Yes, the GUI has been integrated in microservices to make it easy, but that's not the only feature. That's not the only purpose of it. So having GUI part of microservices is a feature, but not the purpose. Okay. However, GG Studio, what you used to do, or with it is the purpose of GG Studio is just for GUI purpose. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now next question is, if we have integrated Classic to use GG microservices, whether we need to migrate from GG Classic to GG microservices. Sorry, let me see the name. Bala, this question is really confusing. So what do you mean by integrated Classic, integrated extract and Classic architecture to use GG microservices? So I think I answered your question. So you're talking about you're mixing the Golden Gate architecture and Golden Gate types of architecture. Can pump process in source database work even when manager process and replicate process is not working in target database? So this question is asked by Suresh. So guys, one thing what I always recommend is, and in fact, when you come to ask me any question, or when you are getting any training, or whether you are attending any training program from me, one thing what I highly recommend is, in this question I can answer it for you, but the thing is, if you implement it practically, automatically you will get the answer for it. Apart from that, whatever you do practically, that will remain imbibed in your mind forever. So Suresh, one thing what I want from your side is, or if someone else want to try is, if you want to answer, if anyone else want to answer this question, type in the chat session. And if someone has a question, means if they don't know the answer, what I want is, try it, stop the Golden Gate manager process on target side, and try to start data pump process on source and see what happens, and give me the answer by end of the session. Okay, thank you. Is microservices also able to perform NoSQL data replication? So I think I answered. Golden Gate microservices is only available for Oracle databases. Okay, so what are the other benefits of MSA over Classic, as performance metric server is also available in Classic? So there are a lot of benefits. During the session, we'll get to know. Okay. Okay. So Satyen, you are saying process works. Your answer is wrong. I want you to try again. Okay. Okay. Now I'll take few questions over here. Can you provide some real-time use cases for GG? I will discuss about this as the session goes on. So let us move to yes. So Prashant is asking, Classic and integrated extract both are available in GG Classic and microservices architecture. Yes, it is available in both Classic and microservices architecture. So Suresh is saying, sorry Ashish, I know it won't work, but I want to know why it won't work, how the communication occurs. So the answer to the question, Suresh, lies in the Golden Gate parameter file. So have a look at Golden Gate parameter file. You'll get the answer over there, why this won't work. Okay. 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 So let us now move to our session. So this is about microservices architecture. I'll give you a brief. I'll show you the show you the how microservices architecture looks like. So I've already installed it on my VM. I hope. Just a minute. So let me do localhost. So I'm trying to connect to my microservices architecture. Okay. So this is the service manager which I was talking about. So you see this service manager in the architecture. This is the service manager. So what happens is I already logged in. That's why it didn't ask me for the password. So if I sign out from here, so this is how it goes. So as I showed you in the architecture, so I told you service manager is watchdog for all other services. Inside service manager, you have admin server, performance metric server, and distribution server. So this is when you log in to GUI through service manager. Now when you log into service manager, it prompts you for username and password. So username is OGG admin. So this you provide while installing Oracle Golden Gate microservices. So when I provide the username and password, I get logged into the service manager page. Under service manager, now you can see different services running. As I told you, one is administration server, second is distribution server, third one is performance metrics server, and fourth one is receiver server. So under service manager, so in microservices, as we mentioned, things runs as a service. So you see this under service manager, you see this administration server is running, distribution server is running, performance metric server is running, as well as receiver server is running. Okay, now if you have to go to admin server, say for example under admin server, as I told you, you can configure Golden Gate extract process. So I'll click over here. Now again, it will ask for username and password for admin server. So I'll type OGG admin and password as welcome. Once I do that, so you will see the admin server console will open. So under admin server, once it opens, you will see that it will ask you to create Golden Gate processes, like whatever Golden Gate processes I want to create. If I want to create extract, if I want to create replicate, so if I have to create extract, I can click on plus sign over here and I can create what type of extract I need. Do I need to create integrated extract, classic extract, or initial load extract? So guys, see, this is microservices architecture, and under that I'm creating this. I can create this integrated extract, classic extract, or initial load extract, whatever I want to create. Similarly, let me go back. If I have to create the replicate, so these are the different types of extracts. Okay, so this session will also give you the overview what types of different types of extracts and replicates are available. So different types of extracts are available as integrated extract and classic extract. Initial load extract is used for only initial load purpose. Then under replicates, you have different types of replicates as you have different types of replicates as integrated replicate, non-integrated replicate. Basically, this classic replicate is known as non-integrated replicate. Then you have coordinated replicate and parallel replicate. So how many of you know about this parallel replicate? This is a new addition from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards. So are you guys aware about this parallel replicate? Just type in the chat session yes or no. So yes, most of you are saying, almost everyone is saying no. So this parallel replicate has been introduced from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards. So I'll give you a brief overview of parallel replicate. So parallel replicate has been introduced from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards, and it allows you to set up Golden Gate for better performance. So introduction of parallel replicate is there to allow to improve the Golden Gate performance. So what happens is internally there are a lot of threads which runs, and it allows you to multiple mappers and appliers run in parallel replicate. Internally Golden Gate automatically runs and it applies the data parallelly if it means by reading the trail file. So what happens in the trail, what happens, how does replicate read the data and apply the data? So replicate read the data from source database, sorry, replicate reads the data from remote trail and apply it to target database. So basically it maps the data and applies the data. So by default only one mapper and one applier runs. In parallel replicate, multiple mappers and multiple appliers run. Okay, now one question is, what's the difference between integrated and parallel? So the thing is, parallel replicate is of two types. Do you see? One is integrated and another one is non-integrated. So you can configure Golden Gate parallel replicate in two ways, either parallel integrated replicate or parallel non-integrated replicate. So basically this is non-parallel integrated, non-parallel non-integrated, and if you have to create parallel replicate, you can create either parallel integrated replicate or parallel non-integrated replicate. Okay. Okay, so this is about your administration server. Now, second is, so if I again go to the architecture, so service manager so first we logged into service manager. From service manager, we see different services running. So admin server, under admin server, you configure Golden Gate processes, you define the trail files, You can do purging of trail files. Basically, whatever task needs to be done, viewing the report file, everything could be done under admin server. Next is distribution server. So if I go to distribution server, because I have already logged into admin server, so it should not ask for the password of distribution server now. So distribution server, as I mentioned, is responsible for sending the data over TCP/IP network. So it has replaced your classic data pump now. So you don't have data pump available anymore. You have you don't have data pump available in microservices architecture. It's available only in classic architecture. Okay. So this is distribution server. Under distribution server, you create multiple paths, distribution path to connect the data from source to target. So you can define the distribution path by clicking over here. So distribution server is responsible for reading the data from local trail and writing to remote trail over TCP/IP network. Then receiver server receives the data, and if you want to see performance matrix server, you can also see this performance matrix server. So this performance matrix server, if I show it to you, let it get open first. So performance matrix server provides you the metrics, performance metrics. So you will see over here the metrics, Golden Gate performance metrics right now. So see here you have it will show you what all services are running. Along with that, do you see this REP09? Okay, so it shows you the processes which are stopped. So the thing is, you must be wondering, there is only one process REP09 which you see. Why performance matrix server is showing you so many processes? The thing is, as I told you, this is parallel integrated which I have created. That's why you see that multiple mappers means one process creates multiple threads. That's why you see multiple threads. So appliers, A means applier and M means mapper. So I don't want you to confuse right now. I won't go into details about per parallel replicate, but that was just for your information. Don't worry about that. I'll be covering that sometime later, not today, but sometime later. Okay. So parallel replicate is a new addition in Golden Gate from 12.3 onwards. So from 12.3 onwards, you have two additions in Golden Gate. One is performance matrix server, and second is parallel replicate. Okay. Okay. So now let us move to our session. Okay. So the components, what are the microservices architecture components? So components of microservices architecture are administration server, service manager, receiver server, distribution server, and performance metric server. So in microservices architecture, you have service manager and receiver server. You deploy this. So the communication is happened based on REST API. So if you see this diagram on your right side, you will see the service interface as well. So REST API calls are being made either through Golden Gate admin client, browser, OEM, PLSQL scripts, or others using the microservices architecture interface. So one thing is, apart from GUI, Golden Gate also supports command prompt as well, and that command prompt is known as admin client. So what GGSCI is in classic, admin client is in microservices. I again repeat, what GGSCI is in classic, admin client is in microservices. Okay, so you see REST API calls is being made to the Oracle Golden Gate deployment. Now, before I proceed with the Golden Gate components, one question which is being asked is, what is the benefit of using Golden Gate microservices? Why Golden Gate microservices? Why not Classic? So there are multiple advantages to it. One of the major advantage is in Classic architecture, if I have to log in. So this is microservices. If I have to log into Classic architecture, let me log into Classic architecture. How can I log into Classic architecture? For logging to Classic architecture, I have to, what I have to do is, if I have to log into Classic architecture, what I need is, I need to log into the server first. Okay, I need to log into the server first and then do ggSCI to connect. Then do ggSCI to connect. Then only I can connect to Golden Gate in Classic architecture. However, in microservices architecture, the advantage is I don't have to connect to the server directly. I can directly do the, I don't have to connect to the server. I just have to, I can connect from any machine. I just need to have the network connectivity between that server and the machine from which I want to connect. So basically consider a scenario. You're working as a Golden Gate administrator. Now you have various freshers or various people in your team with whom you want to define different access, right? You don't want to create a OS account for them. So what you can do is you can create a GUI level access. You can create a GUI level access, what we are seeing over here, and so service manager. So different service manager. So it allows different level of securities, different level of accounts to be created. So you can define different securities like administrator security or security role or only basic role you can provide. So based on that, you can define who can monitor, who will be the administrator, who can perform stop start, all these things. You can define different roles. So one of the major advantages, you don't need server access. You can provide, you just need to have connectivity. You just need to have network connectivity. Even from the remote machine, you can connect to the deployment. Second advantage is, how many of you have heard about Golden Gate Hub? How many of you have heard about it, Golden Gate Hub? Okay, so first answer I received is yes. Second answer I received is no. Okay, so I have been receiving around yes and no both. Okay, so what does Golden Gate do is, means I should not say what does Golden Gate do, but what you can do with Golden Gate is you can deploy Golden Gate in Hub as well, Hub and Spoke as well. So you can create a Golden Gate Hub which connects to multiple sources and multiple targets. So say for example, you have 100 databases in your environment which you want to extract the data from, and there are 100 database targets, 100 target databases you need to create. So what happens in Classic, you need to, means it's not, you can also create hub in that, but it becomes difficult. In microservices, it is pretty easy. The thing is, you can create multiple deployments. So this is called as deployment. This is called as deployment in microservices. What we are seeing right now, this is one of the deployment what we are seeing. Deployment name is DEP2. Similarly, you can have multiple deployments. I think it supports up to 256 deployments. If one service manager supports up to 256 deployments. So you can create multiple deployments, each deployment connecting to different database. So what happens in that scenario is your Golden Gate is installed only on one node. Okay, because you have 100 source database, 100 target database. You don't need to install Golden Gate on each of the server. What you do is you identify one of the intermediate server. On that intermediate server, you install Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture. Now configure Golden Gate in Hub and Spoke architecture. So what you're going to do from that intermediate server, you will configure Golden Gate. You will have you will be extracting the data through admin server from 100 databases. You can create multiple deployments, or if possible you can have one deployment as well, and then send the data on the same server, and using Golden Gate replicate process on another deployment, you can apply the data to the target databases. So basically, instead of having multiple deployments, multiple installation of Golden Gate on different server, you are doing Golden Gate deployment on one server, and you can manage Golden Gate from one server. So what happens is you have all the deployments under one page. You have all the deployments under one page. You don't have to go to different directories every time. You can deploy Golden Gate from one page. You can manage Golden Gate from one page, and it becomes really very easier to manage, maintain, and troubleshoot Golden Gate in that scenario. So the advantage of Golden Gate microservices over classic is microservices is the latest one. It is future efficient, and it allows you to set up Golden Gate in hub and spoke method easily. Now, one question which is being asked is, what about version compatibility? So of course, Suresh, this applies to any technology, irrespective of technology we are using. The compatibility should be there. So always ensure before you start installing Golden Gate, any Golden Gate or any technology for that matter. I always say for database as well. Do go through the Golden Gate certification matrix. Download the certification matrix from the Oracle website or from the other technology website if you are using some other technology. Go through the certification matrix, ensure it supports your database, it supports your platform, it supports your OS, and then only go ahead and download and install. Otherwise, later you will come across it doesn't. I have seen many people like Solaris, they had Solaris 5 and database version as 18C or 12C, and they were trying to install 19C. And once they installed Golden Gate 19C, it wasn't working. And after that, they checked the certification matrix. So that is not correct. So I always encourage people, first check the certification matrix, then go to download, then installation. Okay. So yeah, so this is about your Golden Gate different services. So now let us discuss about services, all the services. So administration server. So first of all, let us talk about Golden Gate Service Manager. So Service Manager is the one, as you saw, to log into Golden Gate microservices architecture. First, we have to install first we have to log into Service Manager. So what happens in Golden Gate when you go microservices, when you go to installation of Golden Gate microservices, first you have to create Service Manager, and inside Service Manager you configure different deployments. So microservices architecture Service Manager is watchdog for other services. You can manage one or more Golden Gate deployments on a local host. So as I mentioned to you, you have right now only one deployment over here. You can configure multiple deployments. Once you set up Golden Gate, you can create multiple deployments over here. You can have 100 deployments. You can have 200 deployments. I'm not sure. I think it supports, one Service Manager supports 256 deployments. It may be more or it may be less as well, but I think it supports 256 if I'm not wrong, but I'm not sure. As of right now, I'm not sure. So Service Manager is watchdog for other services. You can manage one or more Golden Gate deployments on a local host. Using Service Manager, you can start stop instances, you can query deployments, you can query manage other services. So if you want to stop Service Manager, you can stop start Service Manager as well. So for Service Manager login, you have to log into Service Manager using HTTP. If you're creating a secured login, then https://hostname:/port. So when you do that, so this hostname should be reachable from the machine. As long as it is reachable, you can open this Service Manager, you can query your deployment from any node in Oracle Golden Gate environment. Okay. Now another advantage with Golden Gate is you don't need to install Golden Gate on the same machine where database resides. You can install Golden Gate on intermediate server as well. Okay. Now the administration server. Administration server administers, supervise, manage processes, configuration and parameter files, etc. So administration server helps you to administer, supervise, manage the Golden Gate processes, do the configuration and create or manage parameter files. It is central control entity for managing replication components. So it is a central control entity for managing Golden Gate replication. Create and manage local replicate and extract without accessing Golden Gate installation. So you don't need to access Golden Gate installation. What you need to do is you just need to have connectivity, connect to administration server, and you can create and manage Golden Gate processes. It provides REST interface for admin client or client using Perl and Python. So admin client, as I mentioned, is the GU is the command prompt of Golden Gate microservices. Then receiver server, as I mentioned, receiver server has replaced the classic architecture collector process. It handles all incoming trail files. So what happens is distribution server reads the data from local trail and sends it over TCP IP network where receiver server receives those. So receiver server handles our incoming trail, works with distribution server as so shown. So if you see here, this is the distribution server, this is the receiver server. So distribution server sends the data and receiver server receives it. It provides compatibility with pump process in classic architecture. Now that is another major point which I wanted to highlight. So let me open a notepad for you. So when we are talking about possibilities of different Golden Gate architecture, so is it mandatory? So in Golden Gate, you have source and target. In Golden Gate, you have source as well as target. So is it mandatory in Golden Gate to have same type of architecture on source and target? No. So Golden Gate can work. What are the different types of architectures? What are the different types of configuration you can do? First configuration is your source is on classic, target is on classic. Second is source is on classic architecture, target is on microservices. Third is source is on microservices and target is on classic. And fourth is source is on microservices and target is on microservices. Right? So these are the four types of architecture, four types of configuration which is possible. Your source is on classic architecture, target is on classic architecture. So pump to manager connectivity is managed in this case. Now second is classic to microservices. So which process is involved for sending the data over TCP/IP network in classic? This is the question. I ask again, which process is responsible for sending the data over TCP/IP network in classic? I'm talking about classic. So it's the data pump process, right? So what happens is data pump process will establish the connectivity with receiver server in microservices and send the data. Similarly, now when microservices to classic is happening, so how will it happen is which process is responsible for sending the data in microservices architecture from source to target? Distribution server. Exactly. So in microservices architecture now, distribution server will establish the connectivity with target classic manager and send the data over TCP/IP network. And when it is microservices to microservices, the distribution server of microservices will establish the connectivity with receiver server of microservices and send the data over TCP/IP network. Okay, so these configurations are also possible in Oracle Golden Gate microservices architecture. So your source can be on different architecture, target can be on different architecture. Everything is supported. Okay, so receiver server provides compatibility with pump process in classic architecture. So pump process in classic sends the data over TCP/IP network and receiver server in microservices receives it. Distribution server is the application that acts as data distribution agent that supports conveying and processing data in commands. So before I proceed, I hope things are clear and you are learning something new. Give me a yes or no in the chat. I hope you are learning something new. Okay, that's great. So I'm overwhelmed. Thank you guys for the response. I'm happy. Okay, so distribution server is the application that acts as data distribution agent that supports conveying and processing data and commands. So distribution server distributes the data over TCP/IP network. Same thing what data pump do in classic architecture. It replaces classic data pump. It supports multiple protocols like UDP. So it sends the data over TCP/IP network. So there are multiple protocols which you'll see. I'll show those protocols to you. I'll show those protocols. So what happens is data pump sends the data over the network, right? So there are certain protocols which you'll find while configuring. This is really very interesting. Microservices really very interesting ones. If you haven't explored it yet, it is really very good to explore. You will definitely love it, guys. That's why. Okay, so I'm logging onto the distribution server. I think I've already logged in over here. Okay, so if you see here, if I click on plus, you can type. In fact, whatever you are doing over here as GUI, you can also type the commands as well. There is a command prompt. I'll show that as well to you. So under distribution server, you add distribution path. So once it opens, you can add the path as well. So you will see notifications, whatever notification comes, you can see over here once the notification is generated. So it will show you all those things. Okay, in the meanwhile, while it opens, it displays the page. Okay, it has displayed. So it is loading. So basically what happens is we may be doing over here as a GUI, but what happens is the REST API call is sent to the Golden Gate, and then once the response is received, that gets displayed on your system or your machine, I should be saying. Okay, in the meanwhile, it is loading. Let me see a few more questions. MSA can be plugged in OEM 13C. So this question, until last time, 2 months ago, as per Oracle, that was not available. So I'm not sure right now if they have introduced that or not. But right now, as of my understanding, no, it cannot be. We can use heterogeneous database in MSA. I think I already answered it. The answer is no. Can we start SCN based trail from MSA? Exactly. Whatever is available in Classic, you can use. You can modify the Golden Gate process. You can make the Golden Gate processes to read different trails. You can always do that. Okay. Okay. So this has come up in our environment. So you will see different types of what should I say, algorithm. Where are algorithms? Okay, I'll just target, and no, this is the protocol which you need to select. So there are multiple protocols available while sending the data over TCP/IP network. You can either use OGG or WSS or UDP based on your organization requirement or based on what type of protocol you need to use. So different type of protocols, because see, it sends the data over TCP/IP network, right? So that's why. Okay. So WSS, so what are the protocols? These are common protocols. If you need more details, you can just read more about those. These are not related to Golden Gate, but these are network protocols, which are uniform. So you can read about those protocols, what each protocol means or what each protocol might be doing. Okay. So now Performance Matrix Server. So Performance Matrix Server has been introduced from Golden Gate 12.3, and it is a common myth that it is only available with classic architecture. It is only available with microservices. It is also available with classic architecture. So Performance Matrix Server use metric service to collect and store instance deployment performance results. You can use Performance Matrix Server in both microservices and classic architecture. It is used to query and receive a performance metrics in JSON or XML, view active process status, error logs, monitor system resource utilization, or integrate third-party metrics. So Golden Gate installation, when you have to do, this is what I wanted to talk about. Whenever you are doing Golden Gate installation, first thing what you have to ensure is checking the certification metrics to download the correct version. Always ensure to check the certification metrics to download the correct version, which is certified with platform and database. First thing you have to do. First thing is download the certification metrics and check the certification metrics. Once you have done that, download the certified Golden Gate software from OTN, or if it is not available on OTN, you can find it in edelivery.oracle.com. Once downloaded, proceed to install. Then you can do two types of installation. Either do GUI installation or silent installation. So both in classic and microservices, the GUI and silent installation both are available. Okay. So what are the steps involved in MSA? Install Golden Gate microservices architecture, then start service manager, then start the servers like administration server, distribution server, receiver server, and performance matrix server, and then start the admin client, which is optional. Means you can configure Golden Gate and you can configure Golden Gate through admin client as well, which is command prompt of microservices. Okay, so let me show you about admin client now. So what GGSCI is in classic architecture, admin client is in microservices architecture, as I told you. So now to access the admin client, we need to go to location where Golden Gate microservices is installed. So my microservices is installed here. Okay, now I see here we have admin client. So I log into admin client. So this is the admin client right now. You see it says OGG not connected. Okay, so now I have to do connect HTTP localhost :7830 as OGG admin. Password it is asking for. So now do you see I'm connected? Earlier I wasn't connected. Now I'm connected to this port number, and what is the deployment I'm connected to? DEP2. This is the deployment. Now I do info all. When I do info all, I see Golden Gate processes like admin server, Golden Gate services like admin server, distribution server, performance matrix server, and receiver server is running, but replicat processes stop, which is parallel integrated. Same type of command what I type in classic, I can run those commands almost. So you can see that it is a parallel integrated replicat process, and it is reading the trail files from this location, and it is currently reading this RB. So if you have to alter the process, you can alter the process. If you want to alter the process based on timestamp CSN, you can always do that. In fact, from GUI as well, if I show the GUI to you, just a minute, if I open the GUI, you can alter the process from there as well. So if I go to, say for example, admin server, okay, if I go to action, And if I want to alter the process or start with options, I have these options available over here as well. So say for example, if I want to start with options, so I can start based on CS and SCN value as well. It will provide me the option. So basically the purpose of showing this to you is to make you aware about microservices architecture, and microservices architecture has more, it may have same or more capability than your classic architecture. Okay. Now one question which I have to ask is, has anyone, or are you guys aware about skip transaction? Have you used the skip transaction anytime? If not, if you're not aware about it, try to read about the skip transaction. Okay, how to skip transaction in Golden Gate. Though it is not recommended, but yes, it is there. It's see, it's always good to learn new things. It's always good to know the concepts, even though you may not be using it now, but you never know in future you may use it, or someone is using it, someone else has used it. You must be knowing about what that does, and you should be aware about the repercussions about it. Okay. 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 So microservices architecture is the new architecture in Oracle Golden Gate, which is available from Golden Gate version 12.3. It allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot, configure Golden Gate through GUI as well. Okay. So I'll take few questions now if anyone has updated it. So I haven't received any more question. Okay. So I'll now go to the courses. So I run the courses as well. So I offer 3 courses. One is Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture. Second is Oracle Golden Gate Microservices, and Oracle Golden Gate Veridata. So I have upgraded all my courses to latest version, like Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture runs on 19C, Microservices 19C, and Veridata is still 12, latest version. So I have introduced all new topics in my trainings, which we discussed, like performance matrix server, classic architecture, parallel replicate. And have you guys heard about bidirectional auto CDR, or have anyone implemented it? If not, so gold from database, sorry, Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards, Golden Gate introduced new feature called as bidirectional auto CDR. So in bidirectional, there are conflicts. So CDR stands for conflict detection and resolution. So what, prior to 12.3, what you used to do was you had to configure, you have to set up, you had to define conflict detection and resolution rules on your own. But from 12.3 onwards, you have auto CDR. That means Golden Gate is self-capable of performing automatic CDR. So you have to enable it. What is auto CDR? So we have included all these new topics like heartbeat table, uh, performance matrix server, parallel replicate, upgradation of Golden Gate, all these into a training course apart from the regular. So you may access all our course content from this location. So Oracle Golden Gate Classic, Microservices, and Veridata. So the training program which I run, the feedback which I have received has been very good. You can always log into my LinkedIn profile and get the feedback from there. I can show some of the feedback as well if I open my LinkedIn. Yes. So you can see the feedbacks, like Ashish has an excellent knowledge in Golden Gate subject. His training sessions are very informative and involves more of proof of concept, due to which understanding is simple. Or Ashish, you're a wonderful person. Your patience and your knowledge in Golden Gate will take you over to the square. You give opportunities to others to learn from you, from each other. So what I would say is you can always check the feedback regarding the trainings over my LinkedIn program. If you're not connected, do send me your LinkedIn request and we can always connect over there. So the feedback which I have received is very good. Some of the feedbacks are there in front of you if you want to go through, and you can always check the feedbacks on my LinkedIn profile. Also, many of my students are able to clear the certification. So before I proceed with another thing, now you must be, one question which is being asked is, what is the future of microservices? How many companies are using it? So to tell you about that, microservices, currently almost still, if you go into the market, almost 80% of organizations are using classic architecture. But by end of 2022, Oracle has the plan of upgrading almost 40 to 50% of organizations to microservices architecture. So it's high probability that if you are going into the market for interviews or for supporting any environment, it might be possible that you might be getting the classic architecture requirement. But definitely in coming months or coming years, organizations will be switching to microservices. If not now, then sooner or later they will have to do that. So organizations, another thing is there are a lot of short-term contracts available in the market where you might need to upgrade your Golden Gate classic architecture to microservices architecture, say within 3 months or 6 months, and you get paid well for that. So there are a lot of things going in the market right now. So it's always good. Microservices is future of Golden Gate. So yeah, it's really advisable to learn. So another thing is if you're looking to be Golden Gate certified, so Golden Gate certification contains questions from classic and microservices, almost 80%, 80 to 85%, and around 15% of questions comes from Oracle Golden Gate Veridata in Oracle Golden Gate certification exam. So the upcoming sessions related to GG. So I'm starting a new weekday training batch for Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture from 14th October 2020. It's a weekday batch. By mistakenly, I think I have mentioned weekend. So this is a weekday batch, and Oracle Golden Gate Microservices Architecture will commence from 24th October, and Veridata batch will commence in first or second week of November. So the duration of Classic Architecture is 18 to 24 hours. Microservices is 9 to 11 hours, and Veridata is 10 to 12 hours. Now the weekend batch timings are 7:30 a.m. EST, 2.5 to 3 hours a week, and the weekday batch timing is 9:30 p.m. EST. So the timing as per Indian Standard Time is 7 a.m. Monday to Thursday. So Monday to Thursday EST. So as per IST, it will be Tuesday to Friday. So timing is 9:30 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, and 7 a.m. IST for weekday batch. So 1 hour every day, and weekend batch timing is 7:30 a.m. EST or 5 p.m. IST, and Saturday, and it is around 2.5 to 3 hours. So now, what are the offerings of the live course? So you have 1 year unlimited retakes. So 1 year unlimited retakes means you can join any session with me any number of times for next 1 year, any number of times. So I conduct these sessions like classic architecture almost 8 times a year, microservices 6 times a year, and Veridata 2 to 3 times a year. So you have 1 year unlimited retakes. So you can join any session with me for next 1 year, any number of times. Say for example, you say, Ashish, can I join October batch? After that, can I revisit December batch or January or February? Yes, you can do any number of times. You have access to recorded sessions for lifetime. So all the sessions are recorded and you get lifetime access to session recordings. You have step-by-step activity guides, one-on-one doubt clearing sessions. So if you have any doubts, any questions, I do conduct one-on-one doubt clearing sessions, and you have job support for lifetime. So one of the things which distinguishes my training from others is lifetime job support. So any technical issues related to Golden Gate you are facing in your environment, once you enroll for the training, you have lifetime job support free. And then you have lifetime WhatsApp support. So I have enrolled student WhatsApp group where other students of mine are there. So you have lifetime WhatsApp support. And then, as I mentioned, the training is completely practical. So you will also receive the lab setup kit for practice. So virtual boxes, which I showed you, right? You will also receive those virtual boxes to practice on your machine. So sessions are conducted regularly. All the sessions are practical and training is interview and job oriented. You can join any number of times for next 1 year. The sessions are live and interactive, and they will make a pave your path towards becoming GG expert. So at the end of the session means uh, that's my assurance that you'll be able to set up, manage, troubleshoot, configure Golden Gate on your own, as well as able to provide solutions related to Golden Gate on your customer. The reason is why I'm telling you this is, I'm not saying this because I provide this training. The reason is many of my students are able to do that and they are successfully supporting their environment. So that's it. Okay. So if you're interested for the upcoming session, I would request you to fill out this inquiry form, and you can also email me at ashishagarwalag@gmail.com, or you can also WhatsApp me. I'll paste this information over chat. So please do fill out this form for inquiry form. Please do fill out this inquiry form, and also I'll share the course content as well over link. So do fill out the inquiry form if you have any questions, or feel free to email me or WhatsApp me. So my WhatsApp is at +1 416 871 5708. I'm always reachable. Or you can email me at ashishagarwalag@gmail.com, or you can fill out the inquiry form. Now, what are the FAQs? Common frequently asked questions are, will I miss anything if I join now during already running batch? So all the sessions, no, we have got you covered. So these things you can access. I'll share over email. So there are a lot of questions which people ask. And another thing is regarding today's session feedback. Please provide your feedback for the session via email. Recommend us at LinkedIn and Twitter. So my email is at ashishagarwalag@gmail.com. I could be reached over LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile. And don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. So I would request you to please provide your feedback for today's session. I hope you like today's session. And if you have any queries, feel free to drop an email at ashishagarwalag@gmail.com, or tweet at ashishagarwalag, or drop a comment at YouTube channel or WhatsApp at 416 871 5708. So if you like the session, do let me know how was the session. Just type yes or no. So session schedule is this. So there are new things, guys, means which you need to explore. It becomes very easy to learn new things. Just try, see, upskilling yourself is very important, I would say. So keep your upskill yourself as much as possible. And once you upskill yourself, you will be able to, no one can stop you basically. See, in the market, I always take example of Nokia. Why Nokia failed? Because they didn't upskill themselves as per the current market needs. So as long as you can work according to market needs, no one can beat you. No one can make you obsolete. So this session recording will be available on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't liked and subscribed the channel, do like and subscribe. And as soon as session recording is available, you will be notified. So another question which I faced a lot of time is, with cloud DB, with the introduction of cloud, does that mean the DBA jobs are irrelevant? I always tell you one thing. See, if you see, yeah, so if we talk about 9i, what people used to do in 9i, a lot of things in 12c are automated, right? So if we talk from that era to current era, which I always say era because 9i to 12c is an era. So So at that moment as well, people had fear, but people who were able to upskill themselves. See, in the organizations, there are, if with automation, definitely there are some jobs which are bound to be cut. So out of 100%, means out of 100 employees, organizations will look to cut 10% of jobs. So if you fall in that 10% or 15%, then you might end up losing the job. And who lose that job? So those 10 to 15% people are those who don't believe in upskilling, who whose technology remains irrelevant. So see, you need to show your organization your value. So it means that learning different technologies, working in different areas, showing your value, showing your commitment. See, one thing, I'll tell you one thing. When I take interviews of any student, sorry, any candidate, I don't look how much knowledge he has. I look how much commitment he has, how much he wants to learn. That's what I look into. See, so that should be your motive, that should be the way you work, and once you do that, no one can beat you, no one can make you irrelevant. That's it. Okay, so if you have any question, anything, feel free to reach out, and yeah, that's it. So I hope today's session was informative and useful. Thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, post session queries, feel free to drop me an email or fill out the inquiry form and I'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Thank you back.